Okay, we are continuing with measurement today. Today is customary units, so you will need our reference chart for this activity. I've kept these problems pretty simple. It's just the basics. Tomorrow we'll actually use them in word problems and extend more. But I just want to get the basic concept down today. We're going to be using what we learned with unit rate, proportional relationships, as well as a ratio and proportional relationships to help us solve these. We want to know what 24 yards, how is it equivalent in feet? And so I'm going to start off with a little T-chart thing here. And I'm going to put the two things that we're comparing, yards and feet. Those are the two units of measurement. And so I'm going to get my reference chart, and I can see that 1 yard is 3 feet. And I'm going to take that, and I'm going to plug that in here. 1 yard is 3 feet. So then all I have left to do is to plug in my 24 on the same line that's labeled yards. So it's going to go here. Then I notice that I can use a scale factor of multiplying it by 24. And what I do to the top, I can do to the bottom. And I always usually put an X here. X just represents the number that there's a number that I don't know yet. And so we're going to take this and multiply it by 24. So I'm going to come over here and do the math. Oops, sorry. A little too quick there. 12, carry 1, that's 7. So X is actually 72. So what this tells me is that 24 yards is equivalent to 72 feet. Okay, let's try another one. Start off. Some kids just want to do it in their head, or they don't want to label. Guys, I can't tell you how important it is to label. Now, these are pretty simple today, but they can become complex. And it just takes the unknown out. If you'll label it, it just makes it easier. Okay, we're doing feet to inches. Let's look at our chart. Some of you may already know 1 foot is 12 inches. So I'm going to take that and put it here, 1 foot, 12 inches, just like that. And then I'm going to plug in my third number is labeled in inches, so it's got to go here. And then as I'm looking at it, I notice that I can multiply 12 times 3. So my scale factor is multiplying by 3. And again, that's my unknown. I take this and multiply it by 3. X is 3. So again, 36 inches is equivalent to 3 feet. Okay, now we've got inches and feet again. And we already know that one. We just did it. 1 foot is 12 inches. And so I'm going to plug in 40 inches here. So looking at this one, I don't know a number that I can multiply to get to 40. I know there's one, it's probably a decimal, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to do a diagonal multiply. And so I'm going to take 1 and multiply it times 40, and I'm going to divide by what's remaining. So let's do that over here. 40 divided by 12. And I know that goes into there 3 times, which is 36. And when I subtract it, it's 4, because you would make that a 3 and make that a 10. Okay, so since this is customary units, I'm going to leave the remainder and make it my numerator on my answer. So I have 3 and 4/12. And what do you notice about 4/12? It can be simplified. So I'm going to divide both of those by 4s. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So if I put my 3 back, this becomes 3 1/3 feet. Okay, moving on. Let's try another one. This time we're converting miles to feet. So let's look at our reference chart to see what that is. On here it says a mile is actually 1,760 yards, but that doesn't tell me feet. And there's not one on here that goes from miles to feet. So like you learned in 5th grade, if you're here and you need to get up here, you're going to multiply up. And so that's what I did here. 1,760 times 3 gives us 5,280 feet. So 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So I'm going to plug that here. Then pick up the third number. It's labeled miles, and it's going to go here. And I'm looking for this one. Well, that's good because this is multiplying by 6. And what I do up there, I can do here. So now I'm going to finish out math. 5280 times 6. So it looks like 6 miles is equivalent to 31,680 feet. Okay, let's look at the next one. Now, I've had a lot of kids ask me in the past, how do I know which one's on top? Is it always first and last? I mean, I usually set it up that way, but let me show you. I can flip this as long as I keep these right. 1 mile is still 5,280 feet. And as long as the miles goes with the miles, I'm going to put 3.25 here because I know 1/4 is a decimal 25. It's one of our benchmarks that we've learned. And so now looking at this, I can take 1 and multiply it by 3.25. And remember what I do here, I can do there. That's my unknown. So I'm going to come over to the side, get some room here, and multiply it. Remember, when we're multiplying with decimals, you don't have to line them up. You just do regular multiplication and then look back here at the end with your answer. So let's try this. Let's do 0. Okay, I've used my ones place. I'm going to put in a 0, start in the tens. 2 zeros. And add down. Hope you're doing the math as well. Okay, once I have that done, I have 2 numbers behind the decimal, so I have to have 2 here. Looks like it's going to be 17,160 feet. Okay, we have inches and feet again. 1 foot, 12 inches. And then we're going to plug in the 90. On this one, I do not know a number. We'll multiply by 12 to get 90 evenly. So again, we're going to do the diagonal multiplication and then divide it by what's left. So we have 90 divided by 12. And I know 12 times 7 is 84. And then we'll subtract it and it'll be a 6 remainder. Again, I'm going to leave the remainder. So it becomes 7 and 6/12. Some of you may recognize that that is a half. If you don't, we still have to simplify it. So we could have divided by 6, because 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So if you put the whole number back with it, it becomes 7.5 feet. Okay, we've got a few more to go. Inches, feet, 1 foot, 12 inches. I have 110 inches and my unknown. Don't recognize the number to come for the scale factor here. So diagonal, multiplication, divide by what's left. And I know that 12 times 9 is 108. And that's 2 away, so subtract, you get a 2. So it's going to be 9 and 2/12. I need to simplify it by dividing by 2's. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Put the whole number back, and I get 9 and 1/6 feet. Okay, we've got a different unit of measurement now. We haven't done quarts and pints. So I'm going to pull my chart. 1 quart is 2 pints. Got to plug that in first, and then place my third number with quarts. Everybody recognize the scale factor? Times 8. The unknown times 8. 2 times 8 is, so 8 quarts is equivalent to 16 pints. Number 9, we have quarts and pints again. One quart, 2 pints. Now I have 5 quarts. Times 5, times 5, it's going to be 10. 5 quarts is equal to 10 pints. And then one more. We're comparing pints to cups. So let's look at our chart. 1 pint is 2 cups. Okay, and I'm going to plug in this number with pints. To get from here to here, there's a scale factor of multiplying by 12, which I can do the same here. X is 24. So 12 pints is equivalent to 24 cups. And one more thing I want to share with you guys and kind of bring back to your remembrance. I mean, that's all of the work that I have. But in case you've forgotten, a lot of you have learned the gallon with the large G. And inside the gallon, you have 4 quarts. Each quart contains 2 pints. And each pint has 2 cups. I know a lot of you have learned that in the lower grades, and it's still good to use. I used to teach gallon man whenever I was in 3rd grade math for a little while, wasn't very long. And so I still use that as sorry, I need to push that up. I still use gallon man sometimes when I'm cooking and I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But if you have ever used this before and it helps you, be sure to use it, or you can always use your chart. Either one is good. It's whatever works for you. Okay, that's all we have for now. I will see you guys tomorrow, and we will talk about some word problems and customary and metric units. All right, good day.